Hello, hello, everybody. So I'm giving my thoughts, um, and so it's not going to be too deep. I know some people have been going pretty deep on this subject, with Tasha K and some of the YouTubers and Cardi B and the Starmarie fiasco. And so I'm just going to give you my opinion, basically. I really do believe that maybe in Cardi B's past, she did know the Star Marie lady, and maybe something had happened between them. There was some bad argument or some fight that took place, and Cardi and her friends have distanced themselves from this lady. The lady did say something about that Cardi was trying to help her, and so I believe something had happened between them. Maybe at one point they were friends or they were associates, maybe not close, but they were associated in some kind of way. And this might have been before Cardi is who she is now. And something happened between them. And this girl, whatever it was that went bad between them, this girl has it out for her. That's the way I think this is going. And the YouTubers are just taking all this information. They're getting, you know, different stories. Now, the way I've heard it, I've heard some people say that they thought that Nikki paid the lady, and there's no proof of that. And then someone recently, this blogger, Daytime Tea Time by Candace, she put out a video just recently that some of Cardi's close associates actually slipped up and admitted that Cardi knew this Star Marie lady. And it was like I said, in my opinion, just my opinion, that something somewhere something went wrong in however their relationship was in the past, and they had some bad blood between each other, and now these people don't want to be associated with her because they're on a whole nother level. And I believe what's happening now is that, all these YouTube people are confused because they're taking the story that this girl is saying, and by this Tasha giving her this girl this platform, some of the things that the girl was saying, I'm sure it probably offended Cardi when she saw the video. I'm sure she's seen a lot of the videos. And so I heard that this Tasha K blogger has a cease and desist that was sent to her because of having the Star Marie girl on her platform and making her alleged accusations. So I'm just thinking that maybe it was something in the past that happened between all these young ladies, and there was some bad blood between them, and now it has gotten far out of control. And now that Cardi is popular and she's famous, and she's distanced herself to some degree from this young lady, and this woman got it out for her. I believe Cardi has some enemies, and that's my opinion. I just believe she has some enemies from something that happened maybe a long time back, and so it's gotten out of control now. And so this is what happens. I guess this is the end result. And because some of the stories, also were stated that, Cardi, when she got married, she didn't tell the truth about that. She was, in fact, already married. And then when she, made the story up that she was getting married, she had already was married, and people didn't know. Some of her closest fans, her fans were knowledgeable about that. So that, for one, kind of validates that Cardi will be prone to not telling truth, you know. So, you know, I feel like the reason why she didn't want to associate herself with this Starmarie is that something really bad happened between them. And whatever it was so bad that they have some kind of bad blood between one another. And it might have been back in their stripping days, I would assume, because they keep talking about the stripping club. And so, you know, I've said in videos, you know, with that lifestyle comes a lot of, jealousy, you know, some darker sides to that whole arena of stripping, because, you know, you have a lot of, you notice she has a lot of female friends and associates. And, you know, it seems like, you know, when you're younger, you have like all this group of young ladies and they're all in your corner, especially when you got money, you know, and you start coming up. But, you know, when you lose all your money and you don't have any notoriety, you know, these same people are not going to be in your corner. You know, it's sad that things had to go like this, but I don't know how far this is going to end up. Like I said, I feel like even more is going to come out of this story because it's gotten so far out of control. But I want to leave this and end this with this. You notice she's going after the YouTubers, and she hasn't went after, this Star lady. And so this Star Marie girl, young lady, she's all over social media and all over the place, you know, and a lot of people know about this story. But, you know, if you're really not knowing somebody and they're fabricating a story, then why don't you send them a cease and desist instead of the YouTube lady? Now, I believe the reason why they sent it to the YouTube lady is because they're mad because they gave this lady a voice to come out and say what was going on between them. And so this is what makes it all come to a head. And so you notice that they're not going after the Starmarie. At least I hadn't seen that yet. Maybe it will happen. But I would say if it never happens, that would show proof that there's validity in that girl's story that she did. They know this girl. They know this young lady. And so she's not really fabricating the story. She might be adding more and exaggerating to it because she's angry at her because something happened between all of them. You know, when she mentioned the monostat boxes and she mentioned all that other stuff because she's angry at her. So something eventually, it obviously happened between all of them that they're, at each other's throat. And so that's my best opinion on this. I just feel like she has enemies. This Cardi B, I think she has enemies. But I also want to add this: Tasha K is gaining enemies because of all of this. And so anyway, I'm gonna leave this. You know, it's unfortunate, but because Cardi's still gonna have fans despite all of this, and Nikki's gonna have her fans, and this Starmarie, she's made a platform for herself, so she probably just built a new following because people are going to be curious as to her whereabouts and what she's doing now since this whole thing came about of existence. So anyway, that's the way I'm going to leave it. I just have this up here. I'm not even going to play the video. It's just so you can see that this Tasha K blogger, this is her. She made multiple videos on this story and some other stories that were pretty controversial. And I want to add this, there are a lot of YouTubers, a lot of bloggers, a lot of reporters that do controversial stories. And so sometimes you have to look at it like this. You know, people are always going to run a story on you, even if it's the one that you don't like. And not everybody you're going to be able to go after, because once you get in the news, you know, even the story about the fight that happened at the fashion week, you know, the reporters were all over it. There's nothing you can do to turn back the clock on that. And so everybody saw it. So that's an impression of what those people's behavior and their actions are, how they handle a situation. You know, if you're going to take the high road or if you're going to react. And so people saw a whole nother side of individuals. And so that's a lasting impression. That's all I have to say. But I'm going to let this video go. This is pretty short. I don't really get into too much of this because it's pretty, I think it's kind of juvenile if you ask me. I feel like this on a personal note. If you're an entertainer and you come from a place where, you know, you had some bad experiences, you're supposed to elevate yourself from those experiences and distance yourself from people who are going to bring you down. You don't bring yourself down to their level. And so if you're going to rise above, even whether it's true or untrue or whatever, everybody has a past. Everybody has mistakes that they made in their past. And whatever those mistakes are, that's between you and who you take it up with. But you have to learn how to elevate yourself and get yourself away from people who bring you down. And sometimes you might even have to not react. When somebody says something about you on social media, people are watching how you react. And if you react, then they say, well, you know, if it's not true, then why are you getting upset over it? So, you know, some things will bother you, you know. It depends on what it is, but the thing is that some of the stuff that this young lady was saying sounds too close to some of the actions that the person they're talking about. And so that's the reason why I believe all of this is coming to a head. And so I believe there's going to be more to the story. It's not over. I just feel like people need to elevate themselves to another place and pull themselves away from all of this, not get caught up in what people always say. It's about what you do. And so, you know, everybody has something in their past that they're not always happy with, or that they wish they could change, or they wish they could you know, do something different. And so when that occurs in your life, you just got to tell yourself, well, you know, it's not about what I did, it's about what I'm doing. And so that's pretty much how I'm gonna lead a story. So that's the end of this. I just wish everybody the best. Hopefully this whole mess can get resolved. And, you know, it doesn't have to come down to this, but I don't know any of the people. I just giving my opinion. I just think maybe some people got some enemies out there, and you got to learn to get past it and distance yourself from those people. So anyway, with that being said, thanks for listening. Have a wonderful weekend.